Hey, my name is Marco. I'm a former pro opera singer turned voice actor. Today we're going to be listening to Armored Core 4 Answer Cosmos from the Armored Core 20th anniversary. It's kind of interesting to me that FromSoft has changed so much in their approach and how they make games in general. And the fact that they were known for Armored Core before moving on to Demon Souls, Dark Souls, things like that. It's a very interesting sort of, it's just crazy to think that they went from mech battles to what we know them as today. The evolution and growth of a company is very curious because I think we ourselves have the capacity to change like that and evolve. And, you know, it's funny when a chapter closes, another one opens. And I, in a lot of ways, I feel like this is sort of, you know, from a very uneducated perspective about Armored Core, you know, it's a very interesting thing that they shifted so hard. I'm kind of curious about the history of that. Also, this new vocal booth, thanks to Vocal Booth To Go. I'm not sponsored by them. This is not a sponsored post, but I did get a wonderful discount from them, and I really appreciate them supporting the channel and supporting me. I put their website in the about section so you can check them out. They make amazing blankets, and this new sort of space is thanks to them, so I really appreciate that. So let's go.
American love kicking a day. You can make someone feel better. Two pieces of trust in the air. Let it act to take a long breath.
So okay. You know, right off the bat, there's this real sense of hope. You know, it's not very broody, obviously. There's a bit of resolve in the sound, in the accompaniment, but also in the vocalism. Let's keep going. Yeah, I mean, there's like multiple different things happening here at once, and it feels like the guitars, this, it's doing its own thing. Then you've got the stuff underneath that too. I believe is there a piano in here? It's all very like, it feels like you're like flying in the clouds. It feels like we're flying. This is so interesting because I don't know what I expected, but it's not this. And I only played Armored Core, I think the first one. So like, you know, I assume it's about brutal mech combat, you know, so it's kind of funny to hear this. Let's keep going. Oh, that's so catchy. Man, that drummer is popping off back there too. You know, this is so, again, I'm like sort of shocked that this, whenever I hear these songs that definitely I don't think that they would appear in a game like this, I find it very curious. I mean, is this like a credit scene? Is this in game somewhere? You know, like I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure what to make of it, because like I'm trying to like picture a context or imagine, is it the intro? Like, why is it in the game? Like, what is motivating this to be there? And it's so interesting to hear like alternative rock in an Armored Core game. The power of melody is never lost on me. I mean, this is 6 minutes of this melody. And yeah, there's a few middle sections here where we let the drums and the guitar and we had a piano in there and we let everybody riff, right? And like that, again, the purpose of that is to keep it interesting for you as a listener. When we have a melody like this that is consistent, again, this happens in classical music and it happens in opera all the time too. Now, obviously, this is very alternative punk, like rock sort of thing. But like when a melody repeats like that, melody is vitally important. And when it repeats like that, not only does it get stuck in your ear and it becomes an earworm. God, the amount of times I've been in a rehearsal where I'm hearing the same music over and over and over again, and then it becomes something I listen to when I go to bed. Like, I'm pretty sure listening to this is going to make this a song that pops into my brain literally the whole day. And that's the power of melody. And that's the power of having something that's not very complicated, but is catchy. And I've mentioned this in a previous video. I've mentioned La Donna Mobile. Here's an example from my personal singing repertoire. Imagine leaving an opera house and hearing that and getting that stuck in your head so you listen to it all the time, and it makes you want to play it. It makes you want to go back to the opera house to watch Rigoletto again because you have this one melody at the end of Act 3 that makes you so incredibly happy. You know, it's crazy how melody is the spice of life, and it's the thing that keeps us coming back to things. It's extremely cool how a very simple thing over the top of an orchestra, or in this case, a rock band, can make us so emotionally attached to things, you know? Let's keep going on Armored Core here. See, now we hear danger, we hear concern, we hear that things are not as cheerful as they seem to be. It's like suddenly we turned a corner. Yes, I mean, so the first 4 minutes of this was the singer and all sorts of different instruments, and now we've got this slowed down sort of re-entry into that, and I'm sure by the end of this, well, actually, I don't know, with the minute left, we might go back to the singer, but so what's curious here, too, is that we have this slow recap of the melody, but we have it in the strings, in a string. I believe it's a violin, and it's so interesting because this... we still have I mean, I have the melody in my head. I've listened to this one time. So, you know, this playing with melody and interchanging it in different instruments is again, it's another way to like bring us back. Interesting. Okay, it didn't actually end the way I thought it would. Well, so yeah, I mean, like, again, it's so cool to hear this kind of music because I'm so used to hearing this classical style in games, and so everything is specific and everything is done with intention. So why do they include this sort of alternative punk rock sound in there? I don't know, but it's kind of fun to deviate from what we know all the time, you know? There's so many games that do this where they have this like super modern feel to it. And maybe that's just it. Maybe this is about, you know, thinking about mechs. So it's the future. And so they decided to go with something that was a little bit more contemporary with the time so that it didn't get stuck in this like classical soundscape. You know what I mean? So anyway, this was a fantastic Patreon request. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you want to join the Discord, feel free. Yeah, and as always, thank you for hanging out and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.